Dear viewers, as I was there seated somewhere, something crossed my mind, and I thought uh, of it or about it so many times. In other words, I asked myself, how can I help that teacher, my viewer, who is watching me right now, and so as he or she can get uh, enlightened anyway about competence-based questions. I told you that a competence-based question is that question that helps learners to explain, to interpret, to investigate, to transfer knowledge, and to apply the knowledge in real life. It is that question, in other words, that helps to assess critical thinking, problem solving, creative thinking, effective communication, responsibility, teamwork, cooperation, confidence among learners. And that's why I've come up with this format, as you can see, so as we can pick something and apply it or do the same as we do our work as teachers. So without wasting time, let's quickly look at this question. So the question reads, mention down one way in which electricity is useful to Roman 1, hairdresser, Roman 2, dry cleaner. Then part B, explain how a flat iron is able to remove creases in clothes. And the question is taking 2 marks. So this kind of question is somehow hard to the learners to attempt it. Ask me why. The challenge originates with the way we teach these learners. I understand most of us have already completed, or they are halfway, or they are almost finishing the topic of electricity and magnetism. But if you subject your learners to this kind of question, you will tell me, or you will thank me later what I'm going to tell you. Such questions are somehow challenging, and that's why I've come up with this format, so as I can serve my fellow teachers. They know what should be done in line with competence-based curriculum. Plan well, teach well, and assess well in line with competence-based curriculum guidelines. So now, which kind of question is this? In other words, what is the level of the question? Levels of questions we are looking at: knowledge or recall questions, comprehension or understanding questions, then application questions. So when I say question level, that's what I mean. So this question on the chart is a comprehension question. Ask me why. It is requesting learners to explain the use of electricity or uses of electricity in line with the following categories of people. This question wants the learner to explain whether he or she understands how electricity is useful in our daily life, and more so to the following categories of people. So let's quickly look at the expected responses. In other words, how is electricity? How does a hairdresser make use of electricity? 1. It is used to power hair dryers. It is used to power hair clippers, or hair straighteners. It can also be used in sterilizing hair clippers. You see what I was telling you? That this kind of questions, much as we teach electricity, but if you subject your learners to such kind of question, they will find issues. And yet, in the curriculum, we are supposed to teach these learners the uses and dangers of current electricity. Another group of people, dry cleaners. It is used to power washing machines. It is used in electric irons, electric flat irons for ironing clothes. It is used in powering machines that dry clothes. You see? So that's what I was telling you, that the moment you look at this question, there is the way how your teaching will be redirected, realigned. So as you can teach following competence-based demands. So as you can assess your learners in this or towards that direction. Then part B, explain how a flat iron is able to remove creases in clothes. This kind of question is taking 2 marks. So a flat iron converts electric energy into heat energy or to heat energy, which softens the cloth fibers to remove creases. So that means that learners, if they say it converts electric energy to heat energy and they end there, that child will be given 1 mark. And that's the challenge with questions of this nature. So as we teach these learners, let's subject them to these kind of questions so as they can get used before their final paper come November. Then also another thing why this question is competence-based, because it assesses the following skills. 1, problem solving. How? Learners, in other words, it helps learners to know how electricity can be used to solve a problem in our daily life. Then decision making. Learners learn appropriate uses of electricity. Then the values. Which values does it assess or impart in the learners? Appreciation. How? Learners will get to know the value of electricity in improving people's lives. Yes? Then also another value is responsibility. How? Learners will learn proper and safe use of electricity, which is very important. Then creativity and innovation. How? Learners will learn the use of technology in easing today's work. So if you visit the curriculum book of P7, you will clearly see that on the topic of electricity and magnetism, these are some of the life skills. Obviously, there are many. Even effective communication is also a skill. How does it come into effect? When these learners are expressing themselves as they write these answers for the questions, they are communicating. In science, we can communicate by speaking, by writing, by listening, by drawing. Those are some of the ways through which learners can communicate their scientific ideas. So that's why I'm saying that this is purely a competence-based curriculum. Let me hope we have learned something. Don't forget, subscribe to my YouTube channel and inform a friend. This is the kind of information we need as teachers of science. See you then in the next video. Thank you.